person wey lion dey pursue and person wey goat dey pursue, they no dey run at the same pace. In fact, person wey lion dey pursue and person wey nothing at all dey pursue for this life, they do not take life the same way. Now, this is not about lions and goats and all what I'm talking about. I believe you know what I'm talking about. There are people who come from certain families where before they get anything in life, they have to fight for it. They have to suffer. Children, marriage, education, job, whatever. Nothing comes easy for them. Maybe because of whatever, but it is just the way it is. And then you have people whose parents have stacked up generational wealth and connections for. I do not expect you to take life the same way that they do. We all had classmates back in secondary school and university that were not serious about life. They were not brainy. They could not even understand what was going on in school. And me and you used to say, with this person's mental capacity, I don't think there's any future for this guy. But you would also agree with me that in modern day, such people are making it big. I mean, they are making it big. And then you have the A students, the brainy ones, the intelligent ones, struggling to pay bills. That's the irony of life. But then you have the responsibility to ensure that your children and your generation yet unborn do not suffer the same fate as you. And how do you do that? You have to be intentional about your life. You have to be intentional about the choices you make. The person you marry, you have to be intentional about the career choice you make. You have to be intentional about the environment you live in. And most importantly, about the people you surround yourself with, the circle where you find yourself. You do not just wake up and say, this is my passion. I have to pursue my passion. And then you see that this passion you're pursuing is not putting food on your table and you keep wasting your time there. I'm not saying you shouldn't pursue your passion, but my dear, when your landlord knocks on your door, do you give him passion? Passion does not pay bills. Intentionality and the right moves does. You should work your way up and find yourself in the circle of people who can actually be of value, of immense value to you, and you to them. You already know what you carry. You know that you have what it takes to be great. But you would agree with me that a greater percentage of someone's success relies heavily on their environment. There's a saying that the environment is stronger than character, right? Have you not seen a lot of intelligent people, talented people waste away? What is the difference between them and the people who are intelligent that made it? Association. You do not have to remain where you were born. I know a lot of people have this mindset and believe that if I can find myself in Lekki, Lagos, or GRA, Port Harcourt, or Maitama, Abuja, if I can find myself in certain environments, I have higher chances of getting connected. And I do not beg to disagree. I beg to agree with them. In fact, I 100% agree with them because I believe strongly in the power of association. Enviable was talking about how he got to meet with Obi Kubana. He said a friend took him to a particular gathering and introduced him to Obi Kubana, someone he has been trying to meet for a very long time. It is a human being that is another person's God. God is our source, yes, but men are channels. God uses men to bless us. You have to walk your way up. And then, even though I'm a bit tempted, there's another video I'm going to make about building and sustaining relationships, valuable relationships. But let me give you a tip of that video. I'm going to post it after this one. When you meet valuable people, the first thing you do not want to do is take from them. Don't do that. Don't make that mistake. People are always, especially poor people, in fact, always in the habit of looking for where to take from. The first thing you want to do is give value. Because when you get such relationships and they just take you to a particular place, you don't need to talk too much. All the person needs to say is, now my guy be this. And then by virtue of the friendship and relationship and trust that person has built in those other successful people, they automatically transfer that to you. You don't need to submit any CV. They just ask you, what do you do? And then you present what you do, and that is it. That is the power of association. There is still the spiritual aspect of it. I'm going to talk about it when I talk about sustaining relationships. But for today, I'm talking about you being intentional. Walking your way through by the power of association. You have to be intentional about the kind of relationships you get into. It's not everybody you date. if you know you're coming from this kind of place, it's not everybody you date. I know you people with Amaka has called. That's the truth. No, let's be factual here. Let's not be sentimental. It's not everybody you marry. You don't marry every kind of person. It's not everywhere you can live in. It's not every course you study, for crying out loud. It's not every skill that you can get. Everything you're doing, you have success in mind. You're like, I beg, this is what I want. You have to be intentional. See you in my next video.